So I've had the Analogue Pocket for just about 3 months now. I wanted to do a follow-up video talking about my time with it so far. Do I actually use the device? Have I enjoyed it if I've been using it? Has it made all my dreams come true type of thing? Have I had any issues? So let's get into it. Now, the Pocket, it officially released December 13th of 2021. Originally, it had a price of $199.99, but now it's about $220. Went up a little bit. Out of the box, it's able to play Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance carts, and Game Gear via a cartridge adapter that was available separately. It has a 3.5-inch low-temperature polysilicon LCD screen with a resolution of 1600 by 1440, a 4300 milliamp hour battery with USB-C 18-watt fast charging, lasting between 6 to 10 hours of gameplay on a full charge. You got two Altera Cyclone FPGAs. This device has a lot of cool technology behind it. But software side, we're still lacking some features we thought we would be getting in January of 2022. Has yet to happen. So the Analogue OS with library features, save states, extra controller support has yet to be released, and we don't necessarily have an idea of when it's coming out. Now, we did get a couple firmware updates in December with that initial one on launch, and then one shortly after, and then a firmware update in early February of 2022 that also allowed the dock to be updated through the Pocket instead of separately. So far, these updates have been minor fixes mostly. The most major thing was allowing the dock to use the display modes that are available in handheld mode. And this, update to the dock was what I was hoping for. I have played the Pocket quite a bit, but admittedly, it's been mostly playing it docked. So having the display options finally was pretty cool, as that was one of my main disappointments I had initially when I received the Pocket and dock. Everything still does seem fairly bare bones with the firmware. When we finally get the promised features with the Analogue OS, I may have to revisit all that in, another video and talk about what we got, how everything works. But right now, just the way it is, overall just playing games that I want to play. I don't really need to be fiddling around with a ton of special features. It would be nice having that library and multiple save states though, so I am looking forward to that. Another issue that I've had off and on was with controllers. I know there's only a few that are officially supported at this time, with several that will eventually be added to the full support list, but currently do kind of work, but they're not supposed to, but they do kind of. Like the 2.4 gigahertz 8-bit-do, I don't care, I'm not saying 8-bit-do, 8-bit-do SNES controllers. When I first got the Pocket and dock, the 2.4 gigahertz controllers worked without issue, but at some point, maybe after a firmware update, I'm not exactly sure, those controllers, they don't really work for me. They continually disconnect and reconnect while playing games, rendering them pretty much useless for the time being. But for now, I have defaulted to the Pro 2 controller, which is a great, comfortable controller with a really decent D-pad, but I think it's really overkill with the Pocket. I mean, there's too many buttons, analog sticks. I don't need all that. I'm just looking forward to using that 2.4 gigahertz standard Super Nintendo-style controller in the future. Don't really need a bunch of crazy features and stuff that I'll never use on a controller for, Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games. Now, I haven't experienced too much in the way of bugs or anything. Early on, after I did my initial unboxing and review, I did have a couple issues with the dock not responding or syncing controllers, but I think after the last update, I really haven't noticed anything major. I haven't had any problems using the dock or the Pocket. Just like I said previously, a couple times where it was like, wait, let me disconnect everything and reconnect it and see if it works, and it did type of thing. I guess they're just continually ironing out, little issues here and there. So that's a good thing. I hope they keep on it, keep on fixing things. But really, I haven't had too much of an issue. Now, I do own, quite a few original cartridges, but out of convenience, a lot of times I default to using EverDrives. Now, I know this was a controversial topic with some flash carts, EverDrives not working with the Pocket. Maybe I'm lucky. but I have not had a single issue with any of the EverDrives I've used. I've used them for the Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, and the Game Gear. I mean, it seems like there may be several factors with this issue, but as flash cards are designed to work on original hardware and the original hardware specs, there never really is a guarantee that they'll be compatible with clone hardware. I know, it is understandable, in my opinion, that people will be disappointed, especially buying like an EverDrive or something for this device and it not working as expected. But hopefully stuff like that will be ironed out over time, or, if you got one, you don't have the issues like I didn't. I don't know how widespread it was. Maybe certain revisions of the boards and the EverDrives or certain flash carts was the problem. I don't fully know, but hopefully a jailbreak will come sooner than later, making it easier to load up your collection of ROMs that you have accumulated by whatever means necessary. So this is another thing we really don't have much of a clue about, a jailbreak. Maybe once Analogue OS 1.1 is released, a mysterious jailbreak will come along with it. I mean, it does seem like a jailbreak right now, off of feature missing firmware just doesn't make much sense. So who knows? I mean, I'm anticipating after that full, OS update that maybe we'll start hearing talks of a jailbreak, but right now, there's really no guarantees. I mean, there's never been a guarantee of a jailbreak with any of these. It's just kind of something we got accustomed to happening shortly after the launch of a new analog console. And also, the other thing, there's still no word on the cores and cartridge adapters for the Atari Lynx, Neo Geo Pocket, or TurboGrafx. If you go to their website and look at their shop, these all still show coming soon in 2022. So hopefully we'll hear news soon, but you never know. Like I know all the crazy stuff going on in the world. We still haven't heard much about the Analog Duo. So, I mean, I'm hoping these cartridge adapters don't just kind of get brushed off and don't happen type of thing. I mean, I would believe they will because they're still listed on the site, but I'm really looking forward to all three of those adapters and hopefully being able to just load up ROMs and play those games as well instead of buying those adapters. I mean, that's why this thing has like the two FPGAs. Like developers could, create cores and do stuff. We'll have to wait and see, in the future. It's still fairly early on with the Pocket, but in the end, I've really enjoyed this device. It's definitely not just something that's being used for content on my YouTube channel, which is what sometimes happens with all of the products I showcase on my channel. Some things I'll enjoy, and then some things just never get outside use, besides the occasional video. And with the Analogue Pocket, this hasn't been the case. It has become one of my most used gaming devices outside of just content creation. I do use it while I'm chilling, just wanting to play games type of thing. Using it in handheld mode occasionally is not really the most comfortable form factor to me, but I still really like it, and I'm blown away by how good the screen looks. It's a fantastic device and, helps keep retro handheld gaming alive, but is also not the only option out there. In my opinion, if you're currently enjoying your games on another device, be it original hardware, another clone system of some sort, emulation via tons of different devices, there really isn't any reason, in my opinion, to run out and buy something else unless you just really want to. I mean, you got the money, you just want to do it, whatever. I don't know. I don't get to pick and choose. I'm just saying, you spend your money how you want, but if you enjoy what you got, fear of missing out or feeling pressure to get the newest, shiniest thing, you don't necessarily have to do that. I mean, with the Pocket, I think if you have a large collection of original cartridges, it makes a lot of sense. But if you don't, I mean, I'd really like if all you have is like a couple flash carts or maybe a couple games or you're expecting a jailbreak. I mean, I would think about how much use you will actually get out of it after the long wait if you've recently ordered one. I mean, currently there are 3 fulfillment groups, with the first one from orders in, mid-December, starting to ship end of March 2022. And then the second group, Group B, is end of year 2022, and Group C is sometime in 2023. Hopefully these dates can become quite a bit earlier for people, but it could turn into a long wait if you order now. So, I mean, yeah, and they take the money up front. That's one thing you got to keep in mind. If you're willing to wait a year and, fork over $230, $330, whatever, you buy the dock, all that money, they're going to be holding on to that for quite some time. That's what happened with, those of us who ordered early on when it first went up and sold out right away. They held on to the money for quite a while before we got the device, and that seems to be something that's a possibility again. But at least they're being, a little more upfront with the dates there, which that could always change, but anticipate a long wait. But yeah, just wanted to share some of my thoughts and opinions. Really do appreciate every single one of you guys watching and hanging out with me on this one. Let me know what you think down below. Catch you guys in the next one. Bye.